Good evening, everybody. I got a question that came to me through my Facebook Messenger, and I just wanted to jump on a quick Facebook Live instead of answering the question because I thought some of you guys might have the same question as well. So the question is, when you're implementing a change, how do you avoid conflict or defense? So the short answer to that is you don't. The long answer to that is everybody, when you go through change, especially in a group, is going to fall on a different place on what is called the change curve. So if you Google the change curve, you'll see some information about this, and I'll post it up in the comments as well. But depending on people's personalities, their backgrounds, their experiences, everybody's bringing something different to the table. They're going to have different levels of acceptance and resistance to that change. So if everybody, when you experience group change, it's very rare, if ever, that everybody just jumps on board with that change. If you're in the space where the change has already started, the best thing that you can do is get that person to understand the why behind the change. And kind of guide them through that and help them see a personal connection to that change. And also see what you can do to just get them interested and enrolled in whatever the change is. Because the way that our brains work, just from evolutionary sake, is when change comes about, it tends to feel like a threat to our survival in our brain. And so especially those people who are more resistant to change, they literally go into amygdala hijack mode. The amygdala is the part of the brain that makes you run from a saber-toothed tiger, that kind of fight or flight or freeze response. And so change to people feels like a threat to their survival in their brain. And so that's where the defensiveness and the resistance comes up. And so again, before the change is actually the best time to address it. And that's, again, explaining the why, explaining the impact, providing as much clarity as you can on what the process looks like so that they understand what's going to happen, and they're going to understand what their role is, what the impact is, and if this is in the workplace. A lot of fear tends to come up for people around change because they think they're going to lose their job or they're going to get a different boss or whatever. And that fear is directly connected to the fact that our jobs are oftentimes our source of income. They're almost always our source of income, at least one of our sources of income. So people get really funny about change, especially at work. So again, kind of knowing that there's going to be a natural resistance to things and doing what you can to connect with that person, provide clarity, provide the why, and then hold their hand as much as they need you to at the beginning of the change and help to get them on board. Now, if you go down the road, I don't know what amount of time, but if you go down the road, I don't know, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 6 months, a year, however generous you feel like being, and this person is still not on board with the change, then that's certainly an opportunity for you to say, is this person a good fit for our organization? Is this person a good fit for whatever group we're in? But again, it's all about you're going to have resistance. So there's not going to be resistance. It's just, how do you manage that resistance? And then, as a person that's bringing forth a change, it can be very difficult to encounter that resistance. So if you know that that person is going to be resistant, then do everything you can at the beginning to think through what your response is going to be to help bring that person on board. So I hope that was a helpful question to your answer. And I will post in the comments about the change curve because that's oftentimes a very helpful tool for people as well. Have a good evening.